Good morning, everyone. This is the September 8th, 2021 meeting of the Beautification Commission, and it is 10:06. And the first item on our agenda is to approve the minutes of the August 11 meeting. So can I have a motion to approve? Sue, thank you. Seconded. Jane, thank you. All in favour? Right. So that's good. Now, the second item on the agenda is appointment of a secretary, and at the last meeting Jackie very kindly took the minutes and thought about becoming secretary, and I think you're willing to give it a try. Okay, great. Well, I think I can appoint Jackie if everybody's in agreement. Perfect. Jackie's appointed. Everyone's in agreement. Excellent. Jackie, you're on. Thank you. That's really good. Lauren had told us last time that she is going to make a move to the EPC, but that hasn't happened yet. So she's still technically on the commission and may not be able to attend today's meeting. But Sue, you had mentioned somebody that you thought might be a good
I did send you that link.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Let me look her up again. She lives on Wilson Ridge and has been taking care of the island.
Yes.
The foot Apollo tree. Let me find her again. I'm pretty sure I forwarded that to you right after our meeting. But anyway, I'll find it again.
The last email I have from you is on 7th of August, which was before the meeting.
It was probably a text.
Oh.
But anyway, let me.
All right.
Let me
Well, send it to me again, and I'll follow up with her. And yes,
I did say to her that it was that it involved, the Democrat, the town committees.
Yeah.
And
well, that's fine. I mean, that's really just procedural, because we still need to fill Joy's position, and then Lauren's we can deal with when we know her timing better. Okay, so you'll send me that.
Yep.
And then the next item on the agenda is what we call Habitat Hill, the slopes between the town hall and the Mather Centre, and the signage. I had tentatively arranged with Public Works that they would put up the sign there, the big sign that we've been waiting to put up today, but they have a conflict today, so they've asked if they can do it this Friday. And I said that would be fine with me, I can be available. Haven't heard the time yet, but as soon as I hear the time, I'll let you all know, because it might be interesting to come down and have a look if you're free. Just see what it looks like and agree where it's going to go. Public Works really wants it to go right in the middle of the left-hand slope as you look up at the staircase. I kind of wanted it at the side so it didn't block anything, but it looks like there's a gas line or something right where I wanted to put it. So we can't take responsibility for that. So I think it's going to be easier to do it live anyway, because then we know how big it is and how much of the slopes it will obscure, or if any. And anyway, so that's exciting, and that's scheduled for Friday. So I'll send you a note when I find out. So the next item is our next scheduled clean-up. And I'm going to actually combine it with the following item, which is the update on the birdhouses and signage for the berm. Because, well, you've probably seen the slopes right now. There's a big bald patch that we have to replant. And I had thought that we would try to divide up the plants that are already there and move them over. That is a lot of work, and we could do it, but we would need some help, I think. What I also discovered yesterday, and I don't know whether this is just my bad memory or just not focusing properly, but our capital budget, the 5,000 that we got 2 years ago, is only allowed to be spent at the town hall for those slopes. So, and that's why I'm combining this item with the next one, because I had been thinking that we had capital that we could use generally, but I spoke with Town Hall yesterday, and they confirmed it's just for using here. So that means we can't use it for the berm. That's so that neither the birdhouses or any signage at the berm, we have to use it here. So I'm thinking that we can use it for the birdhouses that we wanted here, definitely. And I'm happy to contribute birdhouses to the berm, that's not a problem. But we could also probably use that money to buy some new plants specifically for the hill. And I think that, if you're all in agreement, I think that would be probably a lot easier than dividing up and rearranging.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some need for work to thin out those plants, but whether we can keep them and replant them in that bald patch, I don't know whether it's worth all of that energy when we have money that's specifically designated for the slopes that we could use. So maybe we do a little bit of both. Maybe we buy some plants for that bald spot, use our capital budget for that, and then as we thin out the rest of the slopes, we can replant in different areas around the town hall.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe under the birches, just to try and keep some of those weeds down, around the building, because there's some bald spots there too, and maybe down the arts centre. So that would be my thought. I don't know if any of you have any other ideas.
Yeah. I've never even been over to scope out the art center, how that looks.
No, I haven't been down there for a long time actually, but it's all part of the town hall. And primarily, I think the town had really wanted us to work on the slopes, and we had done, I think, a pretty good job until the staircase work. But I think we can. I think it would actually help us to buy new, because it'll be a lot more. It'll be a lot easier to control how we plant and try to follow some of the pattern that we had before, although that's going a little bit haywire as they spread.
Where do we go to buy the plants?
We get them from a nursery called Earth Tones in Woodbury in Connecticut. And Earth Tones sells only natives, and they don't use any kind of chemicals, either pesticides or fertilizers. They use basically their own compost, and so everything is very natural. It's a beautiful place. It's several acres, and they have a little map of the walkways that are around the plants, and the plants are all organised by type. So you have wetland plants, shade plants, sun plants, and it's just beautiful. It's very, very natural, and it's good for us because we are really trying to promote the idea of local plants. Yes, local plants, and they have the best chance of survival because they're adapted to our conditions. So that's where we buy. So we are a little bit, we're limited in what they have available, but they've, when we bought last time to get the slope started, they had a very good selection. So does that sound like a general plan? I mean, I don't think we need to vote, it's just sort of ideas for reworking and spending that
money. And
money.
does the money need to be spent by a certain time, by the end of the year?
It doesn't have to be, because it's not money that gets pulled back, but the Finance Committee wanted to know what our general plans were and when we might spend it. So I said, well, clearly now we will spend it around Town Hall. And I think because we're so keen to get that board patch fixed up, that we probably will do it this fall.
That's a good time to do it.
All right. I lost my agenda. So Amanda, I think that means, so Amanda and I had been talking with a friend of Amanda's who is a graphic designer and who was very kindly offering her skills for a sign at the berm. But given now that our capital budget is restricted to this area, I don't think we're going to be able to use her. But let's keep it on the back burner, because who knows, we may get more money next year and maybe we'll be able to do something creative then. Okay, so I mentioned that Tracy's not able to join us today, but she had given me the numbers. Oh, this is small. I have to take my glasses. So our Okay, our line account. Oh, it's so hard to read without your glasses steaming up. All right, do not breathe while I speak. Our line account had been, had money in it from last year when we last spoke. And now, because last year's money that we didn't spend amounted to about $4,000, so that was taken out. And the balance that we have now, taking into account our budget for this year and some expenditures for the berm and for altering the hanging baskets, we have just over 16,000 left in our account. I think that is going to be very tight for us. It means that we have enough for the hanging baskets and for the watering through the end of this fiscal year. But I do think it's tight, and so discretionary payments out of that account are going to have to be minimal, so that we keep enough money for the hanging baskets. So I think we won't really be that active for a while. Well, we can be active doing things that don't cost money, but in terms of expenditures. And then the balance is in the other accounts, the Verena Stewart, Dr. Garden and Amy's Smile, or pretty much what they were. Do you have any expenditures for Dr. Garden?
I do not. No. We're
All right.
still,
Okay, so they're all pretty healthy then. One thing I should just go back. I had volunteered, I think at the last meeting, to write up something about the training, and I'm afraid I've been so busy I haven't done it. I think I might just talk to Lauren and see if she has time to work on that, if that's okay. I think we talked about a flyer or an article for the paper, just being mindful of water conservation. I just don't know how receptive people are going to be given that they're flooded. Yes.
Well, I will tell you that the day after we had finished a lot of flooding, our sprinklers went on. So our irrigation went on. So we ran out, turned it off. We thought this is a good use to have a smart controller, because it would know how much water we had and it would shut it down for maybe a week or more. And I did have a chance to talk to Aquarian, and they have a lot of interesting things to say. I'll summarize that in an email to you.
So you had a rain sensor, you had a smart
So we
controller?
have a rain sensor, but because it wasn't raining in that precise moment, it decided it would try to water. But fortunately, we caught it, and we have a time so that it's after 10 p.m. and we could turn it off. But it just that's just one of those ways that.
That's very interesting. So it's literally a rain sensor.
Like for that
at that moment,
correct.
when it's about to turn on. It doesn't measure moisture in the ground or in the atmosphere. It has to be raining.
Yes.
I guess that's why it's called a rain
sensor.
As opposed to a smart sensor. That's a very good. Well, that's an interesting angle, and maybe something we could use to sort of promote the smart.
Yeah, maybe that's something that could be in the article.
Very interesting. All right. Well, maybe that.